Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 opens.
I don't give a fuck about superhero, supervillain, and their whiny-ass preschool teacher, Mr. Fee. I don't give a fuck about free links and the piss poor excuse for bands that play there. I don't give a fuck about the Denton scene or cleaning up the vomit I inject from looking at any of their fucking faces. I don't give a fuck about Beaver and their half-brain guitar player, Paul. I don't need to get $5 rim jobs from Noogie to fund their tour van repairs. Nobody gives a shit that 20 years later Richard Haskins is still wearing his mom's fucking panties. If anyone in this sewer sludge we call a music scene is fucking offended by what I gotta say, just remember, kids, I'm giving no fucks today.
This initial hour is strictly linear and heavy on cutscenes, but it keeps you camaraderie and tension between the two. Together, the pair have big lads on tour energy, clearly reveling in the rare freedom their position and assignment affords them in medieval society.
It
isn't all fun and games, however.
Until we kick into Gamescom. So it says this is Studio Day 3. This is the Day 3 of the convention, Day 2 of the studio. So it's still Day 3 of the convention.
And a bandit, sir.
Tomorrow we have the Video Game Awards, so that's what we'll be streaming tomorrow, which I think is at 10, so this is the last of my super early morning ones, hopefully for a while. This ain't my normal streaming schedule, guys, if you hadn't quite figured that out. I'm very excited about this game, actually.
Played with no foreknowledge of the original.
This game looks so good.
The opening hours fold in
I didn't even hear of this. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I didn't play the first one.
Friendly duel that reintroduces you to
but this looks so good.
Sword fighting system.
You fight like an old hag.
Like, I love this realism. It's not like high fantasy. This is like grounded. Hello there, Gassick.
Making actions like parrying and riposting easier.
How are you doing today?
While it's been years since I played the first game, I was nonetheless able to hold my own against Sir Hans after a few minutes of instruction, suggesting that Warhorse's changes have indeed made the system easier to grapple with. The sequel also introduces bespoke fighting systems for certain non-sword weapons like maces, letting players who don't fancy mastering the blade to adopt the simpler approach of cracking skulls. The introduction culminates in Henry and Hans taking a bath in the river.
It seems like there's going to be multiple choices that you can make. This game looks gorgeous, though. Like, in all honesty, this game, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I need to look into the first one and see if it's on sale or something. Maybe I could go and do a retrospective on that leading into this one coming out.
It's a sequence that shifts between dramatic and comedic multiple times, and the game handles those tonal changes well. Through a series of unfortunate events, Henry and Hans end up in the care of a local peasant woman.
I'm a big fan of like Renaissance stuff, so this is right up my alley.
One of the original strengths
I'd play this. I'd play this. Like, I want to see if I can find the first one for me to play in November, because that's when we have our Renaissance festivals here, and that would be a blast. That would be a blast to get into like that mindset through playing the game before I go to the Renaissance.
Are verdant and alive with birdsong. There's a chance to experiment with the updated alchemy system, which is even more tactile and involved than the first game, with you sprinkling ingredients into a big cauldron.
I'm also a big player of Red Dead Redemption roleplay, where it's a lot more realistic. So this very grounded version of, you know, like medieval times,
from the peasant woman's
very appealing.
And you can go through the entire process of putting these
like, if I could have this with like the roleplay Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead
in this initial
communities, that would be pretty awesome.
KCD2 will retain the original's capacity for letting players steep in its medieval setting. What it didn't show was anything wildly new. For this, the second demo was more promising. This fast-forwarded the campaign to the 50-hour mark, where Henry arrives in Kuttenberg. This medieval metropolis is the largest urban space seen in the series yet, a bustling environment where every NPC has their own daily routines.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
It's here where Henry
that
encounters
detail,
the Swordmaster Menhard and becomes embroiled in the dispute over who has the rights to teach longsword in the city. To settle the disagreement, Menhard hatches a plan and asks Henry to steal the Fencing Guild's official sword and hang it on the wall of the Rathaus, the town hall. This, Menhard explains, is the formal way of issuing a challenge of arms to the town, a challenge which Menhard could then accept to prove his martial superiority. Of course, this means sneaking into a guild hall filled with master swordsmen, which Menhard wisely suggests you do at night, though you are free to try it in the daytime if you wish.
That's pretty groovy.
Yet even in darkness, clandestine activities are a risky business in
Clandestine
Kutenberg. Anyone walking around at night is expected to carry a torch, and not doing so will get you in trouble with the guards. Having successfully evaded the city watch, I then have to climb over the wall of the guild house, pick the lock on one of several potential entrances, find the sword, and escape. Here, the open-ended nature of KCD2 becomes much more apparent, with the quest feeling closer in spirit to a game like Dishonored than the more directed sequences of the early game. The first time I attempt the theft, things go south quickly. I pick the lock, but attract the attention of one of the night watchmen who relocks the door after
in video games, in real life.
I pick the lock again and proceed 3 steps into the building before I'm rumbled. I try to fight my way out with fisticuffs, managing to knock out one of the night watchmen, but another has roused the town guard who come barreling in with swords drawn to quickly cut me down. In my second attempt, I'm more careful and succeed in lifting the sword unnoticed and hanging it on the wall of the Rathaus.
I think I'm pretty sure I put this one on my wish list already.
But it proves to be far from over. Succeeding in the theft leads to a multi-stage longsword tournament between Menhard and the Swordmasters Guild, and you can choose to be sworn in under Menhard's stewardship and fight for his honor and right to teach longsword in the city. Moreover, the quest can alter in multiple ways depending on your actions, both in narrative choices and general play.
It's gonna be a $60 game.
Spotted doing so, for example, the guild will accuse you of the theft when Menhard accepts their challenge. Consequently, the Swordmasters Guild is given heavier armor during the tournament, making the fight more difficult on your end.
Even in the tag, it just says realistic too. I'm here for this.
Entirely surprising. Quest design was one of the first game's strengths too. Nonetheless, it certainly feels like the sequel is operating at a higher level amid the busy streets of Kutenberg. And if Menhard's quest is reflective of the sequel's 100+ hour total, then Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 could end up being something rather special indeed.
I'll be a fool to say no to that.
My thoughts exactly, Goodman.
For more on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, don't miss the announcement trailer and the Saints and Sinners trailer. And for everything else in the world of video games, stick
I reacted to it. I don't think I posted my initial reaction to this game. I'll do that today, actually, because I'm pretty hyped. We also have the podcast tonight. I need to write down like my top 3 or whatever, and from what we've seen at Gamescom so far. And I might have to put Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 on that list. I'm very interested in this.
Gamescom is officially underway.
I'd love to go to this convention, but I feel like I would have to brush up on my Deutsch before I went to Germany.
Star Wars Outlaws, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle,
and who the f are you?
Stalker 2, and more. Gamescom Studio live on IGN starts right now.
Alright, today I know we're gonna be getting some stuff with this new Star Wars game. I've been hearing really mixed signals on it online, but I also try to actively avoid the drama that comes with a lot of like these games that don't have anything to do with the games. Like I know Black Myth Wukong had like a whole lot of controversy, and I honestly don't care about it. I just want good video games.
Playing around with a replica of the Pip-Boy from Prime Video's Fallout series. Later on, we're going to see Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 2 in action, as well as a look of some of the new content coming to Payday 3.
All right.
Before we get to all that, though, let's take a second to acknowledge that the biggest video game event on the planet also cares about the planet. Thanks to the Gamescom Goes Green initiative, Gamescom runs on 100% renewable energy. In addition to participating in Gamescom's carbon offset program, exhibitors are also doing their part by building more sustainably, reusing portions of their booths, and avoiding single-use material.
And even better, the
I mean, I appreciate that. I'm a hippie-ass vegan, so, you know, I'm pretty groovy with them doing their part.
Gamescom's sustainability efforts and find out how to do your part at Gamescom.global.
Good job, game people. Good job, indeed.
Archaeologists in just a second, but first, let's check in with Ian, one of our intrepid reporters running around the Gamescom show floor. Hey!
I'm out on the show floor at Gamescom today, and it is absolutely
bustling.
But
beautiful.
Despite the name, Gamescom isn't just about the games, because I'm going to be checking out.
I actually did a few streams of Fallout 76 and an entire campaign
TV show.
of the Fallout tabletop role-playing game. I had a whole campaign going. I'm supposed to still be working on it. I have to talk to the players.
Max is going to be talking
Would anybody be interested in me doing a
Awakening,
Fallout tabletop
Monster
stream?
Hunter Wilds. What do we think of the game? You can find out later on. Plus, I talked to the developers of The Eternal Life of Goldman, which looks like the old NES game DuckTales
Mouse
mixed
PI
with
for
an
hire.
existential nightmare. Honestly, there's so much going on
Mouse
here at the show
PI
today, so
looks really
let's
fun.
go check it all out.
I'm a big fan of old school animation. I actually went to college
Gamescom
for
2024
animation.
right here on IGN. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle takes one of the most iconic movie heroes of all time and gives him his own globe-trotting video game adventure.
Here to tell us all about it are Axel Torvinius and Jens Andersen from Machine Games. Hey guys, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Well, thanks for joining us.
So, comedy is a really important part of the Indiana Jones movies. Comedic timing in video games is not necessarily the easiest thing to nail. How did you guys manage to work that into the Great Circle?
We don't do cheap viewers here.
Ways how we
get all of ours organically.
Because, as you say, it's a truly key
boom.
beat to
And
hit
this
the
is
tone
how we
and
do it. You just got banned.
It's also super important for us that it doesn't become comedy.
Right.
So it needs to just have the right amount of it to feel right. And there are several parts to it. One is,
I don't know why. I kind of assumed that this game was going to be third person, and I think that that's on me for assuming that it was going to be a lot more like the Lara Croft Tomb Raider game.
But we also communicate that component in the smallest detail.
I don't know how I feel about
it. In the minute-to-minute gameplay, in hand-to-hand combat, in subtle animation. A lot of different small components that all together comes together balanced and then feel the feel of that comedy is there.
Yeah, it's all about finding that tone, right? Finding a value in the world that you can smack.
I really got to find a better angle for this since I've changed monitors.
At the same time as the comedy, some of the most iconic, most memorable moments from the classic Indiana Jones films are really horrifying, like really scary, like some of the most memorable moments in cinema, in fact. How do you approach horror in your game?
It's been a balance, to say, for sure, because we are really focusing on making sure that adventure comes first. But as you say, there's a sense of horror in there as well. So we've been trying to get moments throughout gameplay where it becomes a little bit creepier, it becomes a little bit eerie, and the game pauses a bit, slow down. But finding that balance between the cinematic big beats, set pieces, and then the horror component.
They're getting that little side smile, right, and everything. That's like when you, like, most of the time I don't really see Harrison Ford in the character face until that little side smile, and then it's like, there it is.
Things in all of them, you said like we want to.
And I mean, I don't expect them to make him look perfectly like Harrison Ford either. I've actually been okay with the concept of having other actors come in to play Indiana Jones, much like they do with James Bond. That's personally what I think that they should be doing. Like, I think it's time for Harrison to pass on the torch. See that little side smile? That's when you really see it.
Just stalking him for his entire life. How did that ball return?
I don't know what we're saying about that, actually.
Well, there's more of that to see when the game is out. So we have a little tease of it, but there are some familiar aspects in the game for sure.
I don't know, man. Like these kind of games are such hit and miss. These ones that are based after already pre-established intellectual properties. So for me personally, this is probably going to end up on the. I hope it's on Game Pass or. You know, like that, more of that kind of a thing. Maybe if it's on sale, on like a Steam sale or something. But I can't see me paying full price for this game personally. No offense to it.
Hand-to-hand combat.
I just don't see me doing it.
Traversing around using your whip. So there, we try to do. Basically, we try to do give the player agency to allow what would Indy do here, and let you role play almost as Indiana Jones and try to accomplish the mission as you see fit.
Right.
Does that sort of speak to the larger philosophy of like replaying the game and stuff like that, giving people like the sort of the option of going back in a second time and maybe going, hey, I'm going to go this one a little more guns blazing or a little more stealth?
Well, actually for this game, because it's so open-ended, we're thinking about replayability a little bit different than, for example, the Wolfenstein titles. In this game, we allow you to go back and revisit previous areas to really explore all the content there is there and to 100% the game. And we have the journal, which is a key tool for this game, that you basically, it starts black.
He said Wolfenstein.
Your whole journey, your whole
They are definitely in Germany.
Every photo that you take, every note that you find, and the idea
if we were in America, they'd be like, I enjoy the Wolfenstein the games. The Wolfenstein. He's like,
so when you say revisit areas, do you mean like travel back to an area or more like a chapter select?
It's more like a chapter select.
I mean, that's not a bad thing.
We allow you to bring back your.
But it feels less active at that point. It feels more like something like a Hitman
so kind of
than more modern games.
Break in some ways, but it's really good for. Being able to explore and exhaust everything that there is into the game.
I want to. Oh no, go for it.
The game is at point very big, so there is plenty of opportunities for exploration, and that's something we constantly try to push the player to indulge in. And as you go along, you will find, oh, there are things that I maybe missed. There are things that I want to revisit. There are things that I want to explore more. So,
I mean, it really can be fun to do games like that, just to see the different kind of outcomes that you can make happen without like continuous consequences.
The game is going to be shorter, but for the people who want to experience everything, there's a lot of things to explore. And it's a really big game.
I am having a feeling this is going to be a short game anyway.
Sort of like unlocking abilities. I want to kind of talk.
They're hoping that you're going to get a lot out of the replayability of the levels.
He's sort of the same guy through all of the movies, but in a video game that would get boring after a while. So tell me about these, like how he's learning more and adapting and learning new moves and stuff.
So throughout the game, you will find these adventure books. These are books that are in the world, like interesting. Books that each one of them contain an ability, and you can unlock that ability using adventure points. And adventure points is something you find by exploration, by completing mysteries and missions and finding these notes and filling out your journal. So it's almost like kind of a skill system, skill tree.
Awesome. Well, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle looks amazing. You guys announced a release date the other day, December 7th?
December 9th.
9th. I was trying to get there 2 days early. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.
Like I said, for me personally, this one,
thank you all so much for joining us. We can't wait for this game.
Stick around because we've got lots more Gamescom coverage ahead right here on IGN.
Give me the mouse PI. Y'all said that that's coming up soon.
I noticed that you have
an
assortment of Vault-Tec equipment.
What up?
If you are a fan of the Fallout TV show, or even better, a Fallout cosplayer, Pip, boy, do I have an extra special thing to show you right now, because I'm here with Chris Bernardo from the Wand Company, who has created this amazing Pip-Boy 3000 Mark V replica based on the TV show that Lucy wears, right?
Absolutely. 100% based on it, yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, well,
it is modeled exactly on the one that Lucy wears, which is the male version, because although the front was the same, Lucy's arm was smaller, so she had a slightly narrower wrist. Right. So slightly bigger one of those. Except the one in the show has a phone behind it, which was what gives you the screen, whereas this one's all built in. There's a proper screen, everything working. You can adjust it. I mean, you can see at the moment we're looking at Vault Boy walking. We can adjust his. Let's do that gently. You can see him. Oh, wow. Yeah. Using the knob at the sides. The animation's changing. Yeah.
What kind of screen is it? It's nice and bright.
It is. Yeah, it's a color, actually, although we only show monochrome with this case, but it's an LCD.
And what kind of materials is it built out of? I know you got the LCD screen, but you want something solid to keep it safe.
Yeah, you do. So the whole of this front portion here is die cast in zinc.
Okay.
And then that's really lovely. The screen itself is made of this plastic called Tritan, which is a very glass-like plastic.
Yeah.
And then the back of it is made in ABS. If you'd made the whole thing in zinc, it would be much too heavy. But you can feel the weight of it anyway. It's got quite a weight. There's a weight.
Not too unmanageable.
I mean, I know that'd be way too expensive for my pockets, but that is a nice piece, though. I am a fan of the Fallout series.
Things you can
even this year alone, I have played 3 Fallout games this year alone.
So cool.
And of course enjoyed the television series as well. And even with that big of a fan as I am, those Pip-Boys go for so much, I just can't. I have my real cheap replica that I use for cosplay. But unless I was like, I don't know. Like, it's such a nice piece, though, I will say.
See how? Oh wow, yeah, beautiful. So that feels great. You'll see that the radio light also lights up a warm color as well. And by turning the radio here, up or here, you tune it.
I mean, this is one of my favorite features, that you can actually tune into real FM radio.
I like that.
So
that part's fun.
It's like a great big microwave oven. I don't know if we'll be able to tune in so easily, but when you do, you get this is the waveform of the music, the actual waveform from the signal. Amazing. And you also have KPSS radio, and then if you press the button, we can't hear it again. It is phenomenally noisy in here, but what you get is DJ Carl, amazing, horrible little scratchy violins.
Now, obviously, the best thing about this replica is that it is a product that you can own. You can even pre-order it right now at store.ign.com, and it comes in this beautiful box as well.
Yeah, it's got actually a really nice packing box that goes around it. So it's really lovely. Yeah.
So this really
Tell us how much.
The best thing a Fallout fan could own. And in fact, I really want to own it now as well. Can I give it a go?
Well, I think so. I think you need to be in the kit, the outfit.
Okay, I can sort that out. All right, Chris, strap it on me.
Well, okay, you are, okay, yeah, absolutely.
There we go. You're on the moment of truth.
He's almost trembling with excitement.
I am. I feel like I'm part of the show.
$200. Since they're not going to say it,
a nice big chunky cake.
I will.
Oh, look at that. That weight feels
great. That's
$200. No, I better be careful not to drop this one on the floor.
They do take installment payments if that is something that you were interested in.
Yeah.
I think that it looks pretty cool if you were a avid Fallout fan. Personally, I just don't have that kind of money to throw around right now. Not on something such as that. I have quite a bit of content that I'll be making today after we get done watching some of this stuff.
IGN has the most thorough, easy to use.
I'll do a midday stream here later on of me doing the character creator and the Enzoy.
Features like personal notes that save to your IGN account, and anything you check off on a map is tracked in the guide as well. It's the perfect system to get to 100%. IGN maps load faster with more markers than ever and are built for your phone as your constant.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty dope.
Games. So start checking off markers for the game you are playing for free at IGN Maps today.
IGN Store has it all.
Is that free? I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of games that I play that I could use that in.
Franchises like The Legend of Zelda, Star Wars, Fallout, Dungeons and Dragons, and more. Whatever your pop culture passion, you're guaranteed to find something you love. There are new and exciting products hitting the store every week, like the
it's got really bad reviews though.
Hoodie, which pairs perfectly with the working wearable Pip-Boy. Plus, high-quality IGN store exclusives like the powerful and spicy Star Wars Darkside Hot Sauce by Truff. We've even got merchandise for you to rock while tuning into the IGN shows and podcasts you love. Or cap off a long day by relaxing to the soundtracks of your favorite video games, like Cyberpunk and The Last of Us. And the best part,
funny thing, I still haven't played Cyberpunk. I really need to get on that game because it does look pretty damn good. Like, it really does. I just haven't taken the time yet. I need to go to a convention soon. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done a convention. Like, I think the last one I did was probably one of the big ones in Florida. So it's been like over a year. It's time to hit a convention, guys. Oh wait, I was a host at a convention. What am I saying? I'm silly, man. My bad. I forgot I was a host at a convention a few months back. Whoops. But it was a small convention. I'm wanting to go to a big convention. This is what I'm talking about. I gotta get this game. I gotta start saving up. This game looks so good. This game looks so good. I'm gonna get way too into this. This is top notch right here. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 looks fantastic. Okay. Ooh. I mean, some of these are pretty cool. That's a pretty cool pack. I don't think I'm gonna get it, but I'm gonna get the game. And I don't usually get a whole lot of full price games, so that's a pretty big compliment.
Medieval Europe, and clashing steel and armor is just part of day-to-day life.
So now we're talking about it. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2,
international PR manager,
one of my top games from this showcase.
Welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You came bearing gifts somewhat. This is the collector's edition, which was just revealed. It's clearly very impressive. These two are not included, unfortunately.
Oh man, that would have been great.
Comes in the box?
Well, it's very precious, so I took my guard. I see your guys' eyes here, but hey, it's a collector's edition, of course, with the great stuff in there. However, all those items are actually have some connection to the game. So, of course, Henry on a horse, Pebbles, right? The main character of the game with exchangeable weapons. So either you have the San George here killing the dragon. Well, there's no good dragon in KCD, of course. But if you want to do that, or rather have Henry with a little sword, that's cool. However, this letter here also has some, it's not some, hey, thank you for having us and thank you for buying the collector's edition. That's actually a letter. You know, in KCD 1, the game ends with you getting a letter which you are supposed to carry to that castle and ask the lords if they're on your side or not. In KCD 2, you still have that letter, but in the beginning, everything goes south, you lose it. You theoretically know what's inside, but you never open it. However, if you have the collector's edition, then you get the real deal, the real letter, and you will actually find out what the lords of Ratai and so on, what they actually want from you.
I mean, that's
no spoilers, no spoilers.
Get it yourself.
I love that. It's kind of like an invitation into the game almost.
Absolutely. And of course, last but not least, a map of Kuttenberg, Kutner Horror, because that one is the big addition to Kingdom Come Deliverance. And also it was the biggest challenge to put in the game because it has thousands of NPCs there with daily cycles.
You built a city.
Absolutely.
It's impressive. Also, is there a lock on there?
Yeah, and that's one thing that I find interesting is if you make a really in-depth game, whereas like a lot of games have to rely on having a bunch of like locations spread out throughout a larger map. If you have a really well done town with really immersive capabilities to it, it's funny how alive you can make just one small location feel.
Just showed off gameplay very recently. We've got I believe in a chunk of it to check out here. Set the stage. What's going on for us here? What's going on?
So first of all, we're seeing here something is going on. They want to hang someone, actually someone from the Devil's Pack, because in KCD 2 now, Henry can't deal with the things himself anymore. He needs a group of friends. In KCD 1, you're pretty much alone and just dealing with local nobles and bandits and I don't know what. In KCD 2 now, you're going in the bigger stages where kings are involved, where armies are involved. And Henry, I sometimes say that in KCD 1, Henry was the champion of the Sunday League, and now in KCD 2, he's like supposed to play in the Premier League, but well, he knows the sport, but he needs to learn more and get bigger and better. And he will quickly realize that he needs friends and that he needs a gang to push everything forward. And the poor fellow we saw there is Komar or Mosquito, and he didn't look that well, but let's see how that's going on.
Now we've got the map pulled up here. How big is this compared to the original?
Well, that really depends. I mean, we say twice the size. However, it depends which numbers you're comparing there. But generally, 2 big maps. One is a tiny bit smaller, one is a tiny bit bigger. One is more countryside, as you can see here. Deep forests, huge sandstone.
I'm a big fan of that.
Wonderful.
Like, that's the thing. I'll go get lost out in the woods, man.
We have the nicest forests there are in video games.
What happens to me a lot in Red Dead.
We'll invite you to Kutna Hora, which is today a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and that will be more industrious. There will be silver mining going on. The armies and the kings and everyone will be there.
Now we have some gameplay a little further on that's going to show all the NPCs and how they interact with Henry. But what's going on right now? I guess what are we doing in town right now?
Absolutely. So this is one of the earlier quests in the game where you have to find a few guys which you heard they're here somewhere around this pub.
Okay, I like that it has the directional compass on the top too, because I actually use those pretty frequently when I'm navigating maps. I don't know about you guys, but a compass helps me out a ton in a game.
They will tell you, hey, yeah, we know where you do this.
Because I get lost elsewise.
Right around the corner. The point is that the game is a tiny little bit more talkative, let's say, right? Everyone has a lot of things to say. However, you can't skip those things. You don't have to do that. You can delve into it, but there's always a way how to get to the end really quickly. And we are now trying to find that guy that owes us.
Okay. Now, it's a role-playing game. Choices matter. Tell us about that. Tell us about the branching path and player choice here.
Oh yeah.
I like that it's a branching path game. That's really got me sold on it. Realistic medieval branching path game. Like, come on, man. This is made for me. Graphics look beautiful. Like the environment looks like somewhere you can get lost in.
Well, Spartacus.
Sign me up.
Speech dialogue, speech skill, and so on. Well, of course. That's not unique. Other games have this as well. However, your choices will absolutely will change the outcome of the quest and the way how they play through. For instance, you spare some dudes that are apparently trying to attack you and kill you. You don't know who they are. You spare them. They run off, and later in the game you might meet them and they might actually help you because those guys weren't bad. They were just it was a bad misunderstanding. However, if you cut them right away, then of course they will be gone and so on. But these are the small ones. There can be big things, moral choices where Henry really decides who lives and who dies. And
now,
I'm here for that.
It looks like Henry's gotten himself in deep doo-doo, actually. Tell us about this. Where are we?
Well, we found that dude that owes us, and we were apparently not the only one who he owed to. So he said, yeah, we have that dude here, who sank in pig shit, unfortunately, behind the local pub.
Oh no!
So, poor Henry had to crawl through the doo-doo and get him out there because he had something on a precious bow, and the dude.
I can't with these guys, man.
Like, no, guys. I went through the doo-doo. That's my precious element now, and in a few seconds, combat will start.
Now, do you need to have played the first game to jump into this one?
We tried extremely hard, and I hope we nailed it to make sure that. You absolutely do not need to know anything.
Good, because I have not played the first one. Let me actually look up and see.
Bare necessary information. This is you. That's your friend. This is the letter. That's the castle you have to go. Good luck. Have fun. The rest is coming with.
So the original game is still $30.
In dialogues, they will tell you, hey, listen.
But it has very positive reviews and also looks quite beautiful.
Never with fist in your face.
You know what?
Smoothly, so that even old fans of the genre of KCD will not feel like, oh, dude, I saw that already. I'm bored.
Put you on the wish list.
Full disclosure, I checked out the first game. I'm very early in it, but the second one is what got my attention. So I'm doing a little bit of research ahead of time. But let's talk about the combat.
I think I might do a little bit of research. If I can catch this game on sale before the new one comes out, I'm gonna play it and I'll stream the whole damn thing.
And we had
because that looks like fun, man. Like I'm here for it. Give me realistic medieval combat, man. How have I not heard of this series?
Those broad moves and
I'm gonna have to tell my friend Shannon about this game and see if she's played it.
Actual sword fighting. However, in KCD1, people said some of the feedback was it's easy to learn but hard to master. We nailed the hard to master, the easy to learn not so much. So in KCD2, like with everything else we did in the first part, we smoothed it out, made it nicer and just easier and more accessible. So even the combat was revamped. It's still an evolution, not a revolution. It's the same as it was before, just more accessible with more options to choose from.
The choice is a big part of this, and we're seeing some of the different ways you can approach stuff in this montage right here. We got a glimpse of a crossbow, we got some stealth, we saw a firearm.
Absolutely. And we also saw that it can go super stealth when you're like...
Yeah, that's one thing. A lot of people, I mean, because you had fireworks and some small ammunition even dating back then. Yeah, a lot of people want to be like, oh, you know, the gun, blah, blah, blah. There was still small firearms.
However, KCD is not becoming a shooter all of a sudden. Very important. It's still an RPG, which focuses on...
The game looks fantastic, though. It really, really does. Like, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with it.
You fire once, you kill him in one shot, and then you switch.
Definitely, if it's got branching paths like that, it'll be fantastic for streams. Because people will enjoy seeing the other ways that people go through the story.
Kind of sets that you can prepare and so on to make it just more smoother and feel better.
Now, what's Henry up to? We just saw him. He was in. He got covered in pig excrement. What is that?
I need to start taking notes for tonight's podcast as well.
So the goal is that all the NPCs in the world are living and breathing. They do something. They go somewhere, and they will react to you as well. So if you are covered in pig excrement, then they will react to you. They will say, dude, you stink, or stealth will be harder, or the speech skill will be harder to pass, and so on. So these things really affect you, and you as Henry, or you as the gamer, have to then take care of yourself. Don't be afraid. This is not a survival game all of a sudden as well. It's like these little elements there, the details that make this game so great and so immersive, because that is what we want actually. You see on screen that Henry is going through doo-doo, so of course he's supposed to be dirty and stinky and whatever, and needs to take care of it. So where to go? Bathhouse.
What are the different options here in the bathhouse? we don't have to go into that right now, I suppose, but it's a mature game. I want to talk about the historical accuracy, because I get the sense you've done a little bit of research into how things used to be.
Absolutely. So everything we do is based on, well, we want to make it as authentic as possible. So this is still not a simulation, and this is not a 100% realistic, that's exactly how it was. It's the closest we can get in the limitations we have creating a video game. And that is what we do first and foremost. But we have a full-time historian in the team. She's working with museums, the mayor of Kuttenberg himself, reenactors, universities, and so on, and gather this information from those people who know this infinitely better than us, and then together
that's pretty cool, though. I'm not very familiar with the location
and so on, and push it everything forward. So yeah, we're trying to make it authentic, but keep in mind it's just a video game.
Now, it's also a very cinematic video game. I appreciate that it's all first person, but then we get to see Henry from the outside. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I think, well, it's of course an action RPG, but the story part, the epic story that we are trying to tell there, is, in my opinion, the bread and butter of the game. It's like a playable Netflix series or something like that. Really, it's really epic. You can change the outcomes. You can have your impact in that. You can see how everything turns out, and it's full of cinematics and cutscenes, of course, to make this interesting and make it awesome and give you this feel of this bombastic, epic experience you can have there. So that's definitely a big thing.
Now, tell us a little bit about Kuttenberg. How much time will Henry spend getting to know the city, and what kind of adventures are we going to have?
Kuttenberg was definitely the biggest challenge for us.
I was saying, Jared, this is actually one of the games I'm most excited for. This is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, a realistic medieval game that has branching paths to it.
That was a huge thing for us.
And I enjoy games that I can kind of influence the story with my choices.
Dangers everywhere around. It's a huge medieval city that is silver mining.
I haven't played the first one, but it's like $30 on Steam.
And a lot of side quests, mini games, dark alleys, and as I said, the king is the invading king is sitting there right now. And as you are part of a guerrilla force, maybe you have to do a lot of guerrilla tactics there.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, Toby, thank you so much for joining us. Step into the grooves of Henry of Skalitz when Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 comes to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC on February 11th, 2025. Coming up next, a look at a few more games in the PlayOn family, including Undisputed, Akimbot, and Nobody Wants to Die.
All right.
Can I ask you something personal?
They were showing off their replica for Lucy's Pip-Boy that they're selling now for like $200. It looks beautiful though. Like it works, you know, where you can actually have a radio going and everything. Okay, so I do believe that there is a whole other stream going on while this is happening, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna see if I can't switch it on over.
Sky Raider is a powerful.
Here we go.
But first,
I didn't care about that game, so we're gonna switch over to their other stream. They have multiple going. Alright, the new Star Wars game then. See, this is when we switch over. I know we can skip over the parts I don't care about. We put enough gap between them that I can start skipping between. I don't understand the controversy. This game looks sick.
One shot. A safe filled with 157 million credits. And I can get you inside.
Get in.
Like a Star Wars game that's not just you playing along with like something connected to the movies. Yes, please, man. Like new characters. That's why I like KOTOR.
Your family, friends, gone. There's nowhere in the galaxy you can hide.
The Star Wars universe is rich for video game making. You don't have to stick inside of that small bubble. You know what I mean?
You want to live?
He doesn't like you. Well, I don't think I like you very much either. You want to buy some death sticks?
I'm in.
Like, I know that there's some type of a controversy over this game, but I hope it's not like one of those, oh, it's a female main character kind of things, you know, because you see that sometimes with games.
Because that rowdy trailer belongs to Star Wars Outlaws. And joining me now to talk through this very epic space adventure, please welcome creative director Julian Garrity. How you doing?
Hello. Excited.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, that's a hell of a trailer to come.
It is a hell of a trailer.
You know what? That's the first time I've seen it.
No.
I don't know, man. I think that people just get too damn negative, you know what I'm saying?
The music gets me every time. I love the characters. Yeah. The locations look great. So from a point of view of somebody who's just discovering it, I'm very happy.
Good. I mean, can you set the scene for us a little bit? Because although that did give us a little look at what we're going to be getting up to, what is Star Wars Outlaws exactly?
What is Star Wars Outlaws? So, it's the first ever open world Star Wars RPG game that features scoundrels, outlaws, my favorite archetype of Star Wars. So it's really giving you the keys.
I mean, we've had like bounty hunter games and stuff, so
on your terms.
I love the sound of it because you're right. This is a brand new experience for a lot of players. We've had
honestly though, I enjoyed the Star Wars MMO, not the original one, but the one that was the Old Republic MMO. It's really good.
Toshara, we've seen a bit of Tatooine. You've picked some great locations for the game, but now we're going to get a little look at the planet Akiva, right?
Yes, absolutely. So this
I love
the first time
I love love the mixture when you really have like a good bit of technology mixed in with your nature. So this aesthetic already is such a good one for me.
So we're the first to take those words and to transform them into something lush, beautiful, complex.
Yeah.
And complex not just in scenery, but also in the politics, the dynamics that are happening. You'll be able to see while Kay runs around the streets of Mira, the main city.
It's very beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But it's also corrupt. And you'll see that there's stormtroopers, there's an Empire presence, and the pikes and the huts are also fighting it out. So
in the Han Solo movie, Lando Calrissian was getting on jiggy with his robot.
Just a sec, but as I've heard from you before, speaking about the game, one thing your team's really
which I will say, I wasn't the biggest fan of that Solo movie, but Childish Gambino, old Donald Glover playing Lando Calrissian, spot on. Give me a whole Lando series. Like, I'm here for it. I actually really enjoyed this Lando Calrissian.
Reflective of the planet or moon that
oh no, what did I get hit for?
The Cantina is this flashpoint of everything that makes Star Wars special. And the approach, the design philosophy that we worked with Lucasfilm Games really allowed us to understand.
It stopped me because it said that it didn't stop me, but
that all of these locations can
it hit my stream. So for example, instead of hiding it because it's not original enough content. My commentary on this.
Different types
Thanks.
Of location.
TikTok. So I'm still going to keep going.
Had to have a different type of vibe. Here in Akiva, it's a tropical tiki bar. So that's the vibe
lame.
that we were going for there.
Sounds great, and it's obviously a great place to meet up with these crime syndicates and get some jobs. How do they make an impact?
TikTok is so lame, man.
Of course, this is a game about the underworld of Star Wars. And there are 4 main syndicates.
Like, it'd be different if I wasn't giving commentary on this stuff, but I'm literally talking about the Star Wars games.
The Ashiga clan that we created with Lucasfilm Games and the Crimson Dawn. And you, as an outlaw, are going to be able to work
Not like I got hit or anything. It's just annoying.
One of those. Doing jobs for some, betraying others, and building your profile accordingly. So very, very involved in your personal story throughout this adventure.
That's incredible. So they will form a general structure that Kay can live out this story in, but how much agency do players have to maybe go off the beaten path, maybe take Kay down some slightly darker routes, or playing the good guy a bit?
100% up to you. So, for example, here, this is the first
I enjoy those types of games, though. I like where I can branch out depending on my choices. That's why I was such a big fan of the Fable games back in the day.
Your main focus is to go pick up a droid smith. A droid smith that you need to pull off this heist that we've been talking about. 157 million credits. That's a lot of credits.
Not bad, yeah.
And to do that, you're going to have to upgrade your equipment, which we're doing there. We're making sure that your loadout is the right one. You jump on your speeder, and you'll be able to be distracted by curiosity on the way. So you're speeding off, you're on the way.
That's a fun vehicle. I'm here for it. Speeder bike.
You're going to be able to do jumps, tricks. The bike is based on a motocross.
What kind of trick?
It feels visceral as well.
Right.
Okay, I can see that.
Come across different things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They can go and like stuff it, man. Like I'm doing a reaction video to the thing. They can get over it.
Do you mess around with
like I'm more transformative than a lot of people are. They're just
later on.
The whole time. At least I talk about the thing I'm like watching. You know.
He's going to be located.
TikTok just needs to get off of it, man. Fucking China communist bastards.
Well, how well equipped can the player be to tackle? That's not a compound. That's a fortress. I mean, what does Kay bring to the table to be able to deal with these kind of scenarios?
Well, she's got to have the equipment to be able to do that. And that starts off with things like your binoculars to be able to scope the different opportunities. There's not just one way in. There are several ways in. The surest way to meet a very certain end is to go in guns blazing. Because this is the Empire.
Come on, man. So don't tell me I have to be stealthy.
We're going to go stealth.
That's like my worst enemy.
And binoculars,
right? How dare I?
Blaster, another. Nix, incredibly important. Let's just have a taste
literally
of
have
how
a
Kay uses
literally
Nix.
have a stream.
She's going to be sending me
a podcast tonight to discuss what we're watching right now. You know, like, oh my, how dare I actually go and talk about these things?
He's there
from a perspective that isn't just bought off like IGN, for example. No offense to IGN, but you're bought off a lot of the times. But you have
good stuff in the middle of that.
You have got your knees dirty enough that you can get in with all of these events. So
what would happen if we did go in all blasters blazing? Would it be a big problem for us on this particular mission?
This is an Empire compound, so that's going to be a real problem.
Okay. I'll take your advice on
One of the conditions is that you don't set off the alarm, because if the alarm sets off, you're going to shut down that compound.
Fair enough.
You may revisit the compound later on to be able to steal more stuff and to really find all of the treasures. And there, you can do it the way you want. But
I like that, but I mean,
you've got a blaster in Nyx.
I'm not really stealthy, so we'll see. Well, I'll have to try and like.
I take my chances, honestly. Earlier on, though, we did see with Kay's using a blaster now, but before that, she was working on it. A bit on her workbench,
yes.
Just go.
Trailblazer.
No pantalones.
Is that like upgrading? Or?
Yeah, that's absolutely upgrading your weapon.
Okay.
Because we want this to be about a resourceful underdog, and a resourceful underdog. They have one main tool that you can upgrade. You can have a charged blast, which is like a rocket launcher.
What?
Plasma, which is the regular blaster with speed mode to it, so it feels like an automatic weapon. And you have one function, which is the shock function, which we'll see a little bit later on.
Nice. I love the way that she even moves around. Like you mentioned before,
I noticed that she had to make sure that she closed the door back.
The movements of Kay, the mannerisms, the swagger, really communicates that so well.
It's something that we worked on Division 2. Right. Those are trained military.
Okay, so those were like
civilian agents, but with military training.
Those are like stun grenades. I like that. That's
so
cool.
You have to have that different movement. But all of those mannerisms and that sort of swagger that you see there, that's Umberly.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like you do have those options, but the game is going to make it harder for you if you try and blaze through the entire thing. So I think that there's those moments.
Nice shot, by the way.
That you'll
I mean, in Star Wars there are so many sounds.
Oh, I hate those. Yeah, it makes sense for certain games, but for something like this it would be really lame.
TIE Fighter, I'm thinking
Harry
like
Potter,
the seismic charge.
Hogwarts Legacy had one mission that was like that, and it was super annoying.
So tell me about the process for making
and it was
sure
the only mission like that. It wasn't like a continuous thing that they did.
Make sure it's authentically Star Wars, but also brand new, something that you've created.
We have to get inspiration from the past, get inspiration from the original trilogy, because this adventure happens in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Okay,
so
that's a good era.
We've had access to all of those things, and then the pleasure is.
So what's the controversy with this game? I'm not understanding.
Something that sounds
I kind of want to look and see.
Its own sound, and that extends from the sound design to, the music of the piece, which I think is remarkable. We heard it in the trailer. It's fantastic.
Anytime I hear the horns, honestly, I'm goosebumps. It's crazy. So we finally find our droid smith here then, I guess.
Yeah, who's not particularly happy to see you. So I'm not going to
Season
spoil
pass, backlash, insist as part of the experience for all players.
With you.
Okay.
And he's ended up working with the Empire, so he's made some really bad decisions.
Oh dear, yeah. It's not great. I mean, he's already got a protocol droid firing a gun at us. I never thought I'd see that. But now that's caught his interest.
That's caught his interest.
Interesting.
There's a real challenge. There's a real opportunity. It's not
so people are mad that there's a season pass with extra missions? That's it?
Tech.
I like
That's what catches his eye.
I could get on with this guy.
Man, people need to get off of it, man. As long as it's a full game. Is it a full game? Can you play through the story front to back with a full narrative? It'd be different. It'd be different
this is gonna be
if the story couldn't be complete without that extra mission.
It's a linear quest. And there's a whole path where you explode into
like what?
The
combats. And I understand it's annoying, but that's how things work now. That's just the world we live in. DLC and stuff.
We didn't want to spoil the puzzle. We didn't want to spoil the traversal.
It's a thing. I can still play the whole game without one mission.
And now we're getting some serious combat because There was no chance to sneak there. Everybody's just ripped over and saw us immediately.
Because it looks like it's going to be a fully packed game without those extra missions, you know?
Like, they love to improvise. They, you know,
oh no, there's one mission featuring Jabba the Hutt
that
I won't be able to play.
Sure they look around them, identify bits that are useful, send nicks out, you know.
People just want to find everything to complain about. It's the same thing with Black Myth Wukong.
If you recognize
that's what I'm saying. People are mad about it.
Pick your targets, and it's an automatic kill.
Nice.
And people are mad at Black Myth Wukong because they had to make sure that their video game was edited in certain ways. Like, that's their decision. It's a video game made in China. If they don't stay within those restrictions, their video game company gets shut down.
Stunning.
It's not like they're sitting there and wanting to make the game exactly with these parameters. That's what their country permits them to do. So why get mad at the video game in that company? They made a good game. I've heard that it's on the little bit of the easy side, but beyond that, I've heard it's fantastic. People just want to complain about everything, man.
One thing in particular I spotted there was some sabak.
You can put that on the books, people that want to hear my opinion about Black Myth Wukong and its controversy. If you have that controversy, take it up with China, not with the video game, which I've already been very much on record on the podcast of my thoughts on China's influence on American media.
So there'll be tournaments, there'll be high stakes games, there'll be a lot of credits to win as well.
Great. Well, I'll have to get practicing on that, definitely. But so I just want to say thank you so much.
Welcome to anybody that's watching me for the first time. I don't filter myself in my opinions when it comes to the industry.
Buckle up. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, Julian.
It looks like a fantastic game, man. Looks so good.
To test some lucky fans on their Star Wars knowledge. Let's see how they got on.
Welcome to the home of Star Wars Outlaws here at the beautiful Xbox booth. And it's time for a massive giveaway.
Don't care about this part.
We've rounded up some fans for a chance to win some very fabulous prizes. How will they earn this?
Hey, they did pretty good, but joining me
now
is
I'm glad that I can just skip.
Ridley Gonzalez. How you doing?
Happy to be here. Exciting.
They did pretty good on the quiz.
They did. I was answering along with them.
Yeah, you got them all right, obviously.
Obviously. Nick's did too. We're
He's got his drink. He's happy.
I do like that little lizard, dude, man. He be making me laugh in the trailers.
To know a Star Wars fan in particular. So before we get into talking how you're actually in the game, break down for me. What was your first what was your Star Wars awakening? How did that come about?
Well, I grew up in Venezuela, so it was all in Spanish, and it was Guerra de las Galaxias. So
I like the sound of that.
I love
Say
about
it again.
Star Wars is that it doesn't matter the color of your skin, what language you speak, where in the world you are. You all have a Star Wars story, and mine just happened to be on the other side of South America, so it's exciting.
Yeah,
when I got
it looks
to share
like it's going to be fun, and
with
it's
my
coming
family
out
and friends,
soon.
I got to relate to it in my language, in my culture.
It's going to be a good one, in my opinion. Just like Black Myth Wukong, people just need to quit complaining.
There was a lot of questions. I think my family also, especially my parents, they started watching all of the movies.
Oh, yeah?
Especially when I shared that it was in the original trilogy.
I can see that.
Empire and, Return of the Jedi. So I did too. I think I blasted the Star Wars theme song and I watched the movies. And anytime I see anything Star Wars, I just have
am
this,
looking
Star
for some
Wars,
good adventure games that you can really just live it up in that world.
In terms of Kay and playing the role of a scoundrel, where did you have to go for that? What did you have to reach into to sort of
And that's the thing, is I am not an apologist when it comes to Star Wars. I talk a lot more shit on the prequels than a lot of people do.
But they're so confident.
Hey, Savannah
they have the expertise. They know what they're doing because they're out there in the galaxy.
On Facebook right now.
Unlike Kay, she's a rookie. She's not an expert scoundrel.
But,
I
will straight up say it right now. I have my issues with Star Wars.
Survive off of
and what they have done with the franchise. I think that the sequels are awful.
The attitude,
particularly
the
last two. The first one, so-so.
That they have. And those
Andor was fantastic. Solo was not very good.
I got to try to bring
Mando
my own heart
has
to
been
it.
okay.
Kay has flaws. She's
but
imperfect. She has a vulnerability.
Didn't even bother watching Acolyte. Obi-Wan was atrocious, and the Book of Boba Fett was also very bad. So they're not exactly on the best track record. More bad than good over the past probably 20 years.
From the whole team.
Well, the whole team's really important to it because when you're playing through it and you even hear the like banter between K and ND5, and you're like, God, I really am a K vest. This is so relatable.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Yeah.
Show
What's it like
gameplay or
working
nothing?
with a wider team then on building?
Okay, it's just them talking.
A new cast of characters to put.
What do we got going on here? Ooh.
The queen enters.
I do enjoy a good quirky game. Oh yeah.
What in random?
I do like this art style. Do you know what it kind of reminds me of? This game, whatever it might be, reminds me a wee bit of Figment, which is a an indie game that's really fun. Oh yeah.
Come here, girl, and accept your punishment.
Episode 1's okay, but it definitely has its bad. Okay, Lost in Random: The Eternal Die. That looks actually doesn't look bad.
Amazing CSUN Games.
I enjoy those little quirky. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yes.
Online multiplayer.
This is what I'm talking about. Let's talk about it. Oh, and it's gonna be on Xbox. That means my girlfriend can play. Oh, this game looks so good. This is gonna be one I'm gonna end up playing quite a bit.
Let's showcase some
Oh
gameplay
my.
through Mecha Breaks 4 mode.
They know what they were doing.
6 squad missions.
6v6. All right. I heard that there's going to be a mode that is more of like an open world where you're focused on taking out NPCs, but there will be other squads going around, so I don't know if you'll engage with them or not. But I do like that they are going to have a mode that is not focused strictly on PvP for this. Just because I know that, like, although I'm going to heavily get into the PvP side of it, I don't want that to be the only thing I'm capable of doing in this game.
Players can maneuver during their dive into the fight, controlling their landing spot at the match's start.
Okay.
Open strategic options that can turn the tide of battle. For example, Falcon excels in aerial strikes and reconnaissance. Pilots must be agile, coordinating hit-and-run tactics.
I love, because you know what that reminds me of? If you ever played or watched Mecha, no, not Mecha Assault. What was that name? Custom, no. There was an anime back in the 80s that was similar to that, where the mechs could also turn into a jet and fly.
Aerial and ground attacks.
I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It'll come to me at some point.
When implementing them, our main challenge was balancing air and ground mechs, given the varying
that will be difficult.
traversal paths and cover types.
Yeah, because not all mechs are going to be airborne.
We address this by carefully assessing each mech's strengths and
I mean, they can fly some, but they're not going to be like in the air like that one is.
On the Mercury Shipyards map, the goal is to move a payload to the finish line. Seizing checkpoints along the way speeds up the payload.
Okay.
Brace yourself.
See, it's a lot of the same modes you get in pretty much any of these kind of games, but that's not a bad thing.
Showcasing another striker, Tricera.
Just like there's the mode like we like to play in Speed Freaks, where you go and capture points.
Boosting efficiency when pushing the payload.
That's pretty cool.
Tricera's Fortress Room features an anti-missile system that uniquely protects the payload or control points. Another powerful ground striker is Stego.
See, the shields definitely make them kind of cool, because you can just sit down there and be gruesome.
When transformed, Stego specializes in long-range fire support as an ultra-heavy striker armed.
That's kind of cool. Probably not the type that I'll play as, though. I'm more of a DPS player.
Is to collect mining data by capturing data nodes, making teamwork and strategy essential. Panther is a brawler equipped with a powerful lance and shield booster kit. Panther's devastating charged attacks and defense capabilities make it a fearsome opponent in close combat.
What's funny is we got Pancake playing Phantasy Star, and he was like, okay, well, I figured you guys needed a healer. I'm like, no, we need a tank, buddy. And he's like, what? I get to be the tank? And I'm like, yes, be our tank, Pancake. We need more heavy frontline hitters. I'm a DPS player, and I keep soaking up too much of the damage. Because I do be getting right up in the boss's face because I'm hunting for their weak spots, so that way I can drop their asses.
Sky Raider is a powerful and swift air attack.
I don't think I want to be that quick of a player in this, though. I think I want some, because I have a feeling that they're going to be pingers, and I don't want to ping in this game. I want to have a good mid hit, you know, like.
Pinpoint sniping and advanced optical camouflage.
I want a good mid-range versatile map. Because this game is fast. I don't think I can handle being a speed player in this game, man.
Stay tuned for its commercial release in 2025.
All right, so it is going to be 2025 before we get this full release. I'm a little sad about that.
Esteemed guests to Two
Little
Point
bit sad.
Museum's Coastal Deep Dive. The Marine Life Museum in 2 Point County is, just as you'd expect, situated along the coast and boasts a
TikTok be
treasure trove of
angry at me or
wetland
something. They
exhibits.
fucking be pinging
Or
down
at
my
least it will
shit.
do once you've hired some experts and sent them on perilous expeditions to unearth rare, but sometimes soggy sunken treasures.
Oh,
Discovering and maintaining the happiness of aquatic life is also a big attraction of the Marine Life Museum. And fish have a surprising number of requirements to meet if they're to stay happy and, swimming. Guests.
I don't hear about this. We'll give it a second. I'm gonna show you a trailer real quick. J-Rod. All right, so this is the one that I was telling you. Look straight up.
Cloudy. Yep. There's only one ultimate driving machine.
I haven't got to watch the trailer yet, so I'm going to record my response
to drive it. The
to
BMW
it.
summer sales event on now. Hurry in for exceptional offers.
Because I have not
through
recorded my
September
response
3rd.
to this trailer yet. Okay, so this is supposed to be like the new Sims. It looks better than the Sims, in fact, called Inzoi.
Have you ever imagined your dream life?
I've already downloaded the demo where you can create your characters.
But living that desired life in reality is a different story. If you could become a god
Like,
and do
this
anything
game
you
looks
wanted, what
so
choices would you
detailed.
make?
But it's the Sims. It's just the better Sims, it looks like.
If you've ever entertained fantastical thoughts like these, we want to introduce to you
I'm
a
here for
world where you
this.
can create your dream life. Welcome to Inzoi.
But do I get to create multiple characters? Okay.
Everyone
those are
has
just
a different
presets.
dream life, and Inzoi offers a variety of creative tools to help you build yours. First,
I'll be playing.
let's
I'm
look at
gonna be doing a
creating
stream
characters,
later.
known as Zois.
Of
You can
me
create
playing with
realistic
this.
appearances with detailed controls over facial and body features. You can also customize hair and outfits.
I'm gonna be making
to
some
create a
ugly
unique
people in this game. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be a whole lot of ugly people I create. So I wonder if you get all the clothing from the beginning or if you have to unlock more. That's insane. That is so much detail. Putting the points on like that, that is so crazy. Wait, you can choose? Whoa! Holy smokes, dude! That is such a cool customizer for clothing. Wow! You didn't have to do that to her. Okay. Ah, nice! This game is gonna creep me out, but also gonna be really, really cool if they can land it. We'll see how it runs later, because obviously a trailer. Get out of here, babies!
What about the space where your Zoe will live?
So they don't say Inzoi or do they
You
just
can
say
combine
Zoi?
architectural elements
Whatever.
like walls, roofs, stairs, pillars,
They always
fences,
make this
gates,
look so much
and
easier than it
ladders
is.
to build the structure you want. You can also customize various appliances and furniture to decorate your home in your own style.
That is so
Worried you might not have
better
the
looking
skills
than
to
The
do all that?
Sims.
Don't be.
Sorry,
We have
Sims.
various AI functions that make creation easy for everyone. You can
Games are
create
getting
your
so
own
innovative.
textures
This is
to
what I'm
make
talking
unique
about, where
artwork,
indie games
or
are
turn real-world
smoking.
objects
They're
into
just
3D
smoking
models
like the
to
big
include
companies that have
Inzoi.
gotten lazy.
It's time to showcase your limitless creativity. Once you've created your character and house, shall we step outside?
Man, that's so.
Can you edit the city
I'm
too?
gonna. For someone like me that is such a world builder, I'm a big D&D guy, so I'm going to
and weather to create
I'm gonna like make such a crazy world with this game.
Also adjust the city's cleanliness,
so cool.
safety, and relationship indices to simulate specific lifestyles. Create a world where everyone is in love or an apocalyptic scenario. Edit the city as you wish.
Okay.
Why keep your dream creations to yourself? Share them on Inzoi's creative platform.
Okay.
Canvas.
Can I post like houses?
Download creations, interact with other players.
That's gonna get
and
funny.
Enrich each other's Inzoi experience.
If you can copy and paste other people's stuff, because people are gonna be making celebrities and everything you can think of under the sun with this. Because that'll be funny. I'm not against
Remember, Inzoi is a life simulation game. If everything happened as expected, it wouldn't be life or a simulation.
Wow.
While you can create your dream characters, homes, and simulations, the nature of the simulation genre means you'll face unexpected situations. Just like real life, you'll experience unplanned, given lives. To provide a more realistic life experience, Inzoi has implemented a complete community simulation where every person in the city lives with their own will, facing various events and accidents.
How is that gonna run?
Such as colds, trends, and rumors.
Okay, so is this a Korean game or
allows
something?
You to view the world
I mean, I'm
from
not
a
against that. It looks
Endless
pretty.
Stories take place to the Zoids you
I'm just
create
wondering how it's
within
gonna
your
run with that much information
all
on it.
operated under the complete simulation.
That's gonna be
Experience
crazy.
your most desired life.
I'm here
and
for
the
this.
life that's given.
Let's hope that it actually turns out even remotely close to what they're showing right now. Oh, I'm surprised how long this trailer is. I didn't even look. I mean, like I said, stand back, Sims. This could take you down. Like, because the problem is with the Sims, man. As much as I enjoy it, they want to nickel and dime you for every little thing. You know, it's a new pack all the time that they charge an exuberant amount for. Like, why in the world would you charge $40 for just a pack that goes and gets me a small bit of new content for the Sims, man? It does $10, $20 at the most. Do a season pass something, but $40, and that's normal for them. And you have to get some of those packs to even get basic stuff in the game.
Suamba.
And who knows, maybe this game will try and do the same type of stuff, but we don't know that for sure yet. Now, here's my question. Can I change what type of town?
But the collective shared stories.
Because right now it's
events,
one vibe.
Accidents, joys, and sorrows.
What if I want
Everyone
more
in your
countryside?
city that make up the human experience.
That's the real question, though.
In Inzoi, you can create the reality you desire. And in the process, maybe even find that the true gift of life is the journey we all share.
I mean, sure, why not?
We hope these realistic experiences in Inzoi can enhance your enjoyment of life in the real world.
That's a bit of a reach.
Enjoy your life with Inzoi. Thank you.
I mean, that's cool, man. That's cool. I want to try it. I'm trying out the demo later today, so we'll see how it runs, like the demo at least. But the demo is just a character creator, which looks very in-depth, so sign me up. This could be a really crazy game for streaming, though, because you literally just create a world and let it go, kind of, it looks like. Like, I'm not seeing anything that's showing that I have any particular type of influence beyond, like, the god. Like, I'm not taking the character and then controlling him in the same way. So that was pretty interesting.
Cover me.
Pretty interesting.
They'll be wowed by the remnants of Wetlantis, and the more impressed they are, the more they will donate. The more donations means more funds to keep your facilities clean, everything nicely decorated.
That is just a second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go refill my
stocked.
coffee.
Once you uncover the Marine Life Museum,
I'll be back.
you can then hire Wetlandian experts in all your other museum locations. From there, you can grow your aquatic collection throughout your 2-point museum empire. Thank you for attending this coastal deep dive.
If you've ever dreamed of running your own museum or just really enjoy the 2 Point series of games, then listen up, because our next guests have the game for you. And me, here to tell us all about 2 Point Museum, please welcome 2 Point Studios Design Director Ben Huskins and Executive Producer Joe Kurla. Welcome to Gamescom, to Cologne.
It's great to be here.
Great to be here.
How's Germany treating you?
Oh, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It's
The weather
such a
is
great.
good?
The atmosphere is incredible.
Yeah.
It is.
A little bit too warm, but that's okay.
That's okay. And the halls are cooled, so everything okay. And today's the first consumer day, so we're really excited to have you here. So, 2 Point has taken on education with campus, on medicine with hospitals. So now, Ben, how did you come up with the idea, the theme of museum, and why should fans be excited about this game?
Yeah, well, the thing that's great about museums is that they have these amazing collections of completely unique exhibits.
New. I don't want to sit here watching
as soon
this.
as we started talking about museum as an idea, we got really excited about what if we let players
save Safi before it's too late. Once Max's new power manifests, she can send a pulse out from her fingertips at any time.
See what else we got
While
going
Pulse
on
is
here.
active, she can peer through to the other world, seeing the differences between the timelines clearly. People and objects in the other timeline appear as dimensional echoes, allowing Max
Okay,
to
so
avoid.
I guess maybe we did an hour and 15. I'm gonna take a bit of a break, stop streaming for now, and I'll be back probably in an hour or two to stream that Enzoid character creator, because I want to do a video of that anyway. But yeah, thanks everybody that came and stepped by. We'll